Reese's peanut butter cups are the greatest, but let me play devil's advocate here. Let's see. So, no, that's a good thing. That's definitely not a problem. Reese's, you did it. You stumped this charming devil.
If I leave tomorrow and everything disappears, then I wanna make sure my message and everything else is clear. No lies, and all I want all I want is the truth.
Cell phones
is the truth.
So many ups and downs, valleys and peaks. Folks who were best friends, now they casually speak. You can gradually see what you call a miracle. Could be weird to you, but it's natural for me. I just want my parents happy for
Ronve,
me.
welcome to the library with Tim Michael. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, man.
All right, so I want to talk about the album, He Speaks So Well. Can you just tell, introduce yourself to the audience. Tell them, tell them about the album, but then also, kind of why that title?
My name is Ronve, born in Queens, raised in Marietta, Georgia. And, I was a regular kid, growing up, in the sports, girls, and all of that. But a lot of the obstacles that I had growing up, it sort of inspired the album as far as identity. It's really an album about identity and figuring out who you are and breaking down stereotypes that are sort of forced on us these days, through the media. And, basically he speaks so well. It was my favorite skit, for starters, from Chris Rock stand-up on Bring the Pain. It's like his most hilarious skit ever. But it was it was really the story of my life. Whenever people would talk to me, that was one of the first compliments they would give me. They would be like, "Oh man, you don't speak like, you don't really speak black. You're really well spoken." And it's kind of a backhanded compliment. I always, I would always say thank you, but I felt some sort of way about it. Like, people, it was kind of a surprise that people had. And, I just, because it's been such an issue in my life, I wanted to address it, because I think that there are a lot of people like myself who feel that way.
And it seems like in the title track, He Speaks So Well, it seems like you really address that issue, because it seems like it's been an obstacle in both, I think, like you said, like both the black and white community.
Yeah. It's and that was the thing too. Like, it's not just a black thing. It is a black and white issue, and it's something that I think people are uncomfortable about talking. People just race in general is a thing that people are sort of uncomfortable with talking about, because nobody wants to come off the wrong way. Everybody wants to be politically correct, and nobody wants to offend the next person. But I think that having an open dialogue about it is what's going to improve, the race issues that we do have in the country. Because to me, it's bigger than race. I think, we need to do something about classism, you know what I mean? But right. it starts with race.
So what kind of response have you gotten from, just the track, itself, from people in the black and white community?
Nothing but positive feedback, man. It's actually been surprising. It's been surprising, because I didn't think, I sort of made the album not with the intent to go platinum and sell 1 million records and all that, but I just wanted to make some music that I felt like hearing at the time. So I didn't really expect as much positive feedback as I got from it, and it's been great. It's been awesome. I've gotten a lot of great opportunities because of it. But it lets me know that there are a lot of people out there who do feel the same way and want to hear things like this in music. So I'm going to continue to just do what I started doing.
I want to go into your upbringing. On your site, you talk about your parents' divorce, moving from New York City to Georgia. How much of that kind of influences your art, and one song, I guess, on the album, He Speaks So Well, kind of best represents that?
I would say, to answer your second question, the song Best I Can I talk about that because, you know, my upbringing, it not only affected my art, it affects my life every day. And I find even as an adult, there are things that I deal with. There are things that I deal with as an adult that I realize that I didn't necessarily deal with growing up, and they're coming back to, I don't want to say haunt me, but I'm having to deal with them now. And that totally affects my art. It totally affects what I want to write about. Because even though I am someone who I love all music. Like you know what I'm saying? If you making good music, I support you. But I will be lying if I say that, you know, I didn't feel a certain way when I hear rappers talk about nothing but cocaine, you know what I mean? Or pushing drugs and the, like, sort of the negative things. Like, I know you need the good with the bad, but we do need that balance, because somebody like myself, I know firsthand the effects of these things that we're glorifying. So if anything I can do, if I can at least bring a balance to that, you know, that's where I'm coming from.
So, I mean, so it seems like, everything you write is, you know, there's a lot of emotion behind it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess, on the album, I guess, what was the hardest song emotionally to write?
Emotionally, I would say, I would say American Dreamin'. Just because American Dreamin', for those who are listening who don't know, it's mostly a song about following your dreams, regardless of, you know, who's standing in your way. And it was a very hard song to write, because I was going through like everything at that particular point in time. Like I had to move back home with my mother at my parents' house, because we couldn't pay our apartment bills because of other things. I was, you know, trying to deal with reconnecting with my father. You know, there were just a lot of things that were going on in my life at that particular moment. And, you know, and I've gotten out of, with a group. I was, you know, it was a lot of things. So, yeah, man, I'm actually getting worked up thinking about it right now.
I've never had anyone cry on the radio. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not. You know, I'm not crying. You know, but oh man, life is hard. But yeah, I would say American Dreamin', just because I was going through everything at that particular moment. And you know, I've been rapping since I was 11. I've sort of bred myself to be a rapper. I wanted to be a rapper before it was cool to be a rapper. This is what I wanted to do in my life. And it was a particular moment in time where I felt like this wasn't going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, I don't have a plan B. I don't know what else I'm going to do with my life. And it was kind of a hard thing to deal with, in addition to everything else that was going on. So it was, you know, that was kind of the story behind American Dreamin'.
Oh, interesting. I want to go into the album. I was listening to it a few times, and what I realized is that there's really no way to define your style. Like the first couple of songs, you sound very Northeast Coast, but then you get to like Best I Can, and you sound like a Southern rapper. So how would you define your style?
Eclectic.
Nice.
Yeah, very, very eclectic. Because I'm influenced by everything, and I'm influenced by everybody, so much so it actually took me forever to find my voice, because if you listen to like my old stuff, I would sound like other rappers. Like there was a time when I was really into T.I., so, you know, all my ad libs sounded like hey. But nice. Then there was a time when I was huge into Eminem, so I had a verse like real multi-syllabic, just wordplay, And it took me a while to find Ronvé's voice. And my sound, I would say I'm more comfortable just not boxing myself in. Like, because I listen to everything, I listen to rock music, I listen to jazz music, I listen to R&B music, in addition to hip-hop. I want my music to reflect that too. I'm not, I'm a huge hip-hop head, and I'll talk hip-hop. I can talk hip-hop with you all day, but I love music, and the music that lasts forever are the artists that last forever are the ones who are eclectic and who do listen to everything. So I don't want to limit myself.
What can we expect next from Ronve?
More hot fire.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm working on a project right now. I'm going back and forth with a couple titles, but it's definitely more than halfway done. And I spoke to my man Todd Rochford actually today about how we're gonna present it as far as the videos. And it's definitely going to be more. It's going to be more than 2 videos for this one, but the project is going to be crazy. Like, it's better than He Speaks So Well, and I could say that just being halfway done with it. Like, the songs that I have right now, they surpass it lyrically. They surpass it just consistency-wise. They surpass it accessibility-wise. Like, more people. I'm holding on to my fan base that I have with He Speaks So Well, but I'll be able to grab a few more just from the musicality from it. Like, I'm that confident with it. Like, if people don't like this one, I'm gonna be really upset.
How can people listen to your music and keep in touch with you, or just follow you?
Yeah, Facebook. Facebook is actually the most accessible way. Like, I'm always on Facebook, more than I need to be, actually. But yeah, search me on Facebook, Ronve. My full name, my government. I don't really mind people knowing. You'll find out anyway. Ronve O'Daniel. But just search me, Ronve, on Facebook. On Twitter, my name is at Ronvezy, RONVEEZY. Of course, ron-vay.com. And yeah, I think that's it. And my album is on Bandcamp, ronvay.bandcamp.com.
Ronve, yeah, thanks so much, man, for joining me today on the Library with Tim Heinekel.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Coming live from 15 minutes outside where they ride by, expecting them blue lights behind in the grind. Breakfast and dinner time, some in the winter time. Some of us intertwined, spitting riddles and rhymes with a bit of crime. Going ham, even if we ain't into swine. If it ain't making no money, we ain't committing our time. Most beating the dimes, talking about a chick that's fine. And that shit they be rolling in that swisher when they be getting high. Getting by, living life like they finna die. Spoken like a true 80s baby. Born in that era where Ronald Reagan went crazy. Illin Bias was maybe the greatest who never made it. And fathers hesitated, so them and they offspring is separated. But we working and working, but I still got so terribly hard to go. Working and working, but I still got so terribly hard to go. Up in Marietta where folk be on that E, like honor roll students in elementary. See faces be lighting up whenever they mention me, cause he speaks so well, getting it in indeed. I could've played the victim cause situations was bad, complaining about my life and them things I didn't have, worrying about mama's bills while sitting in class, couldn't pay attention learning addition and math. But nah, I learned from outcasts early on. You gotta get up, get out, and get something, son. Word up, I tell the truth, I ain't trying to jive, I'm trying to survive. But too artsy for a 9 to 5, and so they got me. So far to go. Yeah. Coming live from outside of the metro, where everybody's a rapper swearing they finna blow like petro. We address those folk who dress so retro, stuck in the early 90s, they finally need to let go. And see, I learned something from these so-called G stunting. The ones who talk the most, them the ones who be frontin'. That's why everything they speak don't mean nothing. I'm getting rid of all of the trash like I'm pre-bussing. 80s, 60s, old molded, damn they eroded, folded like bad poker, done and over with. I'm so over this bogus shit. What I see in them, almost like I see the end. I read rappers and then check them like BBM. You see me, far to go, yeah, yeah. See the vision clear, time is getting near. I'm predicting I'ma be out of this hemisphere within a year. Sipping on Guinness beer, fake cool, you better pull out your winter gear. Folk be looking at me sideways, like they got swimmers here. I dive in the deep end so the shallow ones can't creep in. Cannonball them all if they sleeping. Folk be taking a break like it's the weekend. That's cool, cause that's usually the moment I begin. Ain't no need to pretend. I live in the moment, the now, the current, the present. I'm just a component, my style, you learn to accept it. You need to be on it, that's how you earn to respect it. So I keep the flow unlocked